today we have a fun compilation of 7-star Sasquatch, who honestly is surprised me, man. I feel like he is so good, and he's so much better than I thought he would be. So yeah, we have Eternity Pain Dormammu, right? This isn't an easy fight at all. It requires either a lot of buff control or just, some sort of just insane damage or like stun lock, right? So Sasquatch here has a very underrated utility piece where on his heavy attack he staggers for about, I think it's 10 seconds. It's a pretty strong stagger, and it lets him just like take a lot of buffed matchups. Not like high buff matchups, but like, controllable buff matchups, right? So yeah, I think it's a pretty underrated utility piece, and he's doing it here, and he's doing it quite well. The whole trick here is just like heavy attack often so you can transfer the degen onto Dormammu and just get the stagger up so you can ignore Footloose and all that. There I take a hit, but Sassy just doesn't care. He has like almost 70,000 health. It is just so insane, man. I saw pictures of like a rank 2 Sasquatch, and oh my gosh, the health pool is insane, man. But yeah, here we're just trying to keep on staggering him, keep on degenning him, and then once we're in Wrath, we can just go for the SP2. And you can see here, I'm not going for like the big SP2s because this is a control matchup. This isn't like a damage matchup. So I thought I may as well just like play it safe, play it like in a control way, not just like going for a big SP2 damage type of way, right? So here I'm just trying to build my ruptures once more and trying to just, get the degen onto him so I can just, not take a bunch of damage from it, right? But also, Sasquatch has damage resistance. So basically, for each stack of rage, he has a 5% damage resistance, which is pretty dang good. Like at 7 or 8 stacks, you get like 35 to 40%, which is pretty great. So yeah, the staggers, we're just going to keep on staggering him. And yeah, he's getting staggered, man, and he's getting buff controlled for sure. It's a very, very nice stagger that he has on him. It's really reliable because it's on the heavy attack. It's guaranteed. There's no RNG to it. It is just you heavy attack, and then yeah, you are controlling the fight pretty well. So yeah, now he's almost down because the degen is doing a lot of work here. And here we're about to enter Wrath, so we can just prepare for big SP2, and hopefully it finishes off the fight. If not, then you know what? We still have our degen just doing the work, and we just have other sources of damage as well. So we're in Wrath now, so we dropped SP2, and we get 35,000 non-crits, which isn't too bad, but it doesn't close the fight, unfortunately, so we have to just, do one more SP2, and then that'll be it. So yeah, not a bad fight overall. I think it was about like 2 minutes in total, which for an Eternity Pain fight, definitely is not bad at all. So yeah, 2 minutes right there. And now I just want to do a quick damage test in like Act 6. This is like Battlegrounds health pool, so I just want to see like how he does here. And he does pretty dang good. I feel like he's pretty reliable for like, getting down health pools of this size. You're going to see like right at the end of like for the SP2, it's just quite insane. It is so much overkill, man. So yeah, here he's going to go for like our 5-hit combos, medium, light, 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 medium, because it will give us ruptures and rage stacks. So ruptures are good for the SP2 damage, and rage stacks are good for entering Wrath. And Wrath is like, the big damage because you can stack up infinite ruptures, or you can just stack up like more ruptures than usual, and you can drop the SP2 and it'll do a lot of damage because it has increased attack rating during Wrath. So here we're in Wrath. We go for the SP1 while he's blocking because it stuns him. So you can just get a lot of ruptures there that way without like having to worry about like, his AI behavior or anything like that. So here we go for 2 more medium attacks, and they're 134,000 to end the fight. So much overkill, man. His total health pool is like 155, so that took off like 9% of his health pretty much. It is just absolutely insane, man. And now we have this fight, which is another good showing of his buff control. So this has the Hail and Hardy node. So basically, whenever we hit a bar of power, she'll get a regeneration buff, but we can just stagger it pretty easily. And yeah, this is the fight that he's really good for because it's like controlled like buff gain. It's not like just massive and rapid buff gain. You know when the buff's going to happen, so you can just like time your heavy attack properly, and it'll be a very, very easy time there. So yeah, these are the fights I like with Sasquatch because they're just really easy to control, and he just does it very, very well. So yeah, here we can just go for our SP2 now, or we just want to keep building up a rupture with the SP1, and then when it's like time to enter Wrath, we'll drop the SP2, and hopefully it does some nice numbers. If not, it is what it is. We can just build another one, right? No big deal there. So yeah, we're almost like gonna enter Wrath here. We have 7 charges right now. We're still controlling the fight pretty well. We're just gonna keep on doing the heavy attack. Now we're in Wrath, right? So we can just drop the SP1, drop it again while she's blocking so she can get stunned. So we go for a medium, then a heavy attack so we can nullify the regeneration, and then we do it again. And yeah, it's just a pretty fun time. And then here I drop the SP2, and it does some pretty nice damage, 89,000 on the crit there. Pretty good. So yeah, now we can just build to another SP2 while like nullifying the regeneration again. And yeah, we're just having a very fun time here. This is just like one of his best matchups for sure because the buff control is just phenomenal. Yeah, he's just like such a good buff controller. It's just it just depends on the node, right? Like if it's a lot of buffs, he won't be as good, but if it's like lesser buffs, then he can definitely do it for sure. So yeah, here we drop the SP2 one more time. We don't get like a massive crit, but yeah, it's enough to where like we can just end the fight here. So yeah, not too bad. A pretty good control match for him. That was like a minute and 29 seconds, which isn't too bad at all. Now we have this fight, and this fight isn't for like the Mystics, right? It's a little down node, so basically you do less damage, but the more debuffs you have, it like balances out the damage reduction. So like when you have 3 debuffs, the damage reduction just goes away. So yeah, Sasquatch has very easy access to ruptures, which are debuffs, and then we can just, keep doing double mediums, keep getting them active, and then we just refresh him as well. So yeah, it's a very easy time with him, and he just shuts down the node pretty much instantly. So we can just have full advantage of like our damage. It's pretty nice. There I just totally whiffed like that punishing attack, which is pretty funny, but we still like retaliate at the end. But yeah, now we have 3 ruptures, so the fight's just under control. And yeah, now we're just chilling. Now we can just, just build to SP2, usual Sasquatch things. But the thing is, he converts his ruptures into attack rating on the SP2, but it like consumes all of them, right? Like at the beginning of the SP2. So we can't do like our maximum damage there. It'll actually be like quite gimped, but it's still some pretty nice damage overall. So yeah, it is what it is, man. So here we enter Rat, so we can just do the stun on the SP1 again, and then we just, keep building our ruptures. And I chose not to do the SP2 here because I knew it wasn't going to do like enough damage to finish him off. So like, I'll just wait it here and just let the damage over time do its work, because we're doing some nice damage over time. We're doing like almost 2,000 per tick, I believe, which is pretty dang good. Now we're doing over 2,000 per tick, which is very, very good. So we can just, control the ruptures here, not just cash him in just yet. Here I drop it just to see like what the damage is like, and yeah, it just wasn't enough. But now we have some pretty big ruptures going on there, and it has like, it's a 3-stack rupture, so we have like the damage reduction gone once more. So yeah, it's a pretty chill time. It could have been much faster this fight, but it still wasn't like bad at all. And now we have this Red Goblin, which is a pretty fun fight. It is just on this node where it's like you have to hit or else you get rooted, and also like if you get a nullify, then you get a fury buff pretty much, and it's pretty good for Sasquatch because he has easy buff control. So yeah, the stagger is up right now, so whenever he throws a special attack and he'll gain a buff, it'll just be nullified immediately, then we'll get a fury from it. So yeah, it's a pretty chill time. It's just like a very, very good Sasquatch fight because it's not a lot of buffs to control and you just benefit from it as well. So yeah, it's just really, really good for him. It's not like overkill on the buff control, it's just a very like solid amount. So yeah, now we're just chilling. He's playing really passive though, which is pretty annoying, but you know what? It is what it is. We're just still getting our fury, still getting our damage in, so it doesn't really matter. A fun thing about Sasquatch is whenever he's in Wrath, like any attack that like is a medium, a heavy, or a special attack power drains the opponent. So like let's say they're playing really passive, right? You can still just get all your damage in because you'll power drain them anyway. It's a pretty fun time. Here we go for SP2. Hopefully it crits. 100,000 crit, 40,000 non-crit, still pretty dang good. And yeah, here he gets a buff off, which is, you know what, it's fine. There's more staggers anyway. So yeah, we drop a stagger here. He goes for another SP1, and it gets staggered. So yeah, we can just get another Fury passive there. Then we drop the SP2 once more. No like good crit. We got a nice crit there, actually. And that was like not even on an attack that has the increased attack rating. So yeah, it's pretty fun. So yeah, not a bad fight. I think it was like about a minute and 19 seconds, which is pretty good for like a Sasquatch. So yeah, now we have the final fight here, which is... it's this Matador node, and it's like kinetic transference and also the node that armor breaks you. So yeah, it's a pretty fun time because Sasquatch is armor break immune. It's a nice immunity to have. I think it's just like to, to counter the cosmic tropes. But he also has resistance to cold snap, which is not too bad. But yeah, besides that, no immunities pretty much except for the damage reduction. The damage reduction is still pretty dang good though. Also, it can be hero verse, which is pretty nice. Not really like the most useful thing out there, but it's pretty niche. Mainly a defense thing for sure, but you know what? It has its uses, right? So yeah, here we can just drop the SP1 consistently, and the Matador node just gives us another bar of power. So yeah, it's a pretty fun time. He like honestly is very, very good for this node because you can just, just keep spamming the SP1, keep your damage going, and then cash out with a massive SP2 at the end. It's a very fun time. So yeah, here we just drop the SP1 again. I thought I'd be in Wrath at this time, so yeah, I dropped it without being in Wrath, so yeah, I didn't get the stun there. So I was a bit confused, but then I realized like what was going on. So here I dropped the SP1 once again. There he goes for the block, so I can just get more ruptures in, and yeah, that's what I wanted, right? Like that was the goal. So yeah, here I just keep going for double mediums, and then he'll drop the SP1 once more, so we can just drop a big SP2, and hopefully that finishes off the fight. So yeah, here he drops the SP1. I go for double mediums. And yeah, look at that, 178,000 per hit, and that is just a crazy good fight, man. And yeah, that'll be it for this Sasquatch video. Let me know your thoughts on Sasquatch. For me personally, I think he's a pretty solid character. I think he's a great 7-star. I feel like the stat focus is really good for him, and the damage output is just phenomenal. And yeah, that's about it for me.